get through the pearly gates, you get through to your son.
He has 14 days. After that, it's ours.
I think he had Giacomo cremated.
Cremated? You stuff was the last thing you'd do.
Una trave, eh?
I guess there's no hope for you,
Hey, when life gives you lemons, make limoncello. Today, we're meeting the director and actors behind the heartwarming film called Road to the Lemon Grove.
Yeah, it's a story about family, love, and forgiveness, Italian style. Joining us now, Dale Hildebrand, Tommaso Sanelli, and Charlie Chiarelli.
Buongiorno a tutti. Beautiful film that's being called My Big Fat Italian Funeral because it's about forgiveness, it's about family, it's about love, and it's about redemption. So talk to us a little bit about how this movie, this plot came together.
Well, you know, it's interesting. We thought that we'd have a father and son relationship that's both loving and gone awry because of the two generations, right? So you have a professional and a farmer, and that happens throughout. And so we had to decide what's the conflict in it. And the conflict was that the father's dead, so he wants to go to heaven, and they won't let him into heaven because there are issues with the family, feuds to settle, etc. And so when we did it, we made the father a linguist so we can deal with the language issues, etc. Dale, take it from there.
Because it's all about losing culture and identity and stuff like that. And I think when his father dies, he realizes he's hanging on to his culture by a thread, sort of thing. And his father wants him to reconnect with the motherland, touch the earth from where he comes from. So that was the journey.
For the Italian-Canadian community, they maintain really strong roots here. Did you find a difference from here and going back to Sicily?
I think what the amazing thing is, a lot of the Italians that came over here with dialects that don't exist in Sicily anymore, or don't exist in Italy anymore. So they carry it. It's like a memorial that they have, a timepiece. So we use some of these dialects and we integrate them into the movie. But you go to Italy and they say, you speak like my grandmother. You know?
And that's the thing too. I mean, that the Sicilian scenes are just beautiful, but there's also a lot of Toronto being filled here. We are a cultural mosaic, so this isn't just an Italian story. It's truly a story about family and generations. What did you love in terms of being part of this film? You did such a great job with Italian and English in it.
Thank you. I could really, I could really relate to it, but my father especially could. When he got the script, he thought it was basically his story, and a lot of the flashbacks that I had in the movie were really similar to his childhood and helping his father go through immigration stories.
And Tommaso learned a specific dialect of Sicilian for the movie.
You nailed it.
What was that like trying to pick that up?
That was tough.
I was teaching it.
He did. Yeah,
He was great. He was fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What did you learn from one another? Because we're looking at 3 generations of talent right now on film. So what did you take from one another and working together on this?
I have a very simple answer. This is my first film. I learned how to make a film. I learned where to stand. I learned where to look. This is my first film script. So I learned the difference between, I've written many stage scripts and theater scripts. I've learned a lot, immense.
Yeah, well, same story. It was my first film ever, first on-screen experience. I learned a lot, and I really love how close it is to home, because this was like really important to start off. It was a good base.
Mm-hmm. For me, it was, I want to say I learned patience, but I'm working on patience.
That makes him a doctor.
Yeah, slowly, yes.
But this really, I mean, this is for everybody, though, in this city, isn't it?
I
it's
think
not about going back to Italy, it's for everybody.
Yeah, it's one of the most rewarding things is after screenings, people of all different cultures coming up and saying, I completely identified with that story or that character. I was the translator and all those types of things. So that has been very rewarding, and it's fun to see that people are embracing it from other cultures.
And also, personally, I think that it's so often in death that we have the time and chance to reflect, and we think about what was right, what was wrong, what could we have done better, how could we be more like them, or how can we repair those relationships. And it's really a coming together, and through loss, through death, which is something none of us, I mean, we all experience it at some point, right? So to me, that was a beautiful lesson too, and you did a great job. You actually take on many hats, literally, in this film.
Thank you very much.
What was it like changing characters?
Thank you very much.
I'm like, that's Charlie again. That's Charlie. We won't give away a lot of the plot twists, but you play many characters in this.
Well, you know, the beauty was that the makeup was so good, 5.5 hours a day to put it on, that when I looked in the mirror for the first time after the first 5.5 hours, and it was a Spielberg makeup person, like
Charles Porlier was just a brilliant artist.
I looked in the mirror and I thought, that's it. I can play this character. He looked like my uncles, my father, and Calogero was difficult, The woman was kind of fun,
Yeah.
being the woman. I didn't have to do it all at the same time. Dale did all the special effects, so they were brought together by special effects. I didn't, but I was talking to nobody when I spoke.
We do that all the time.
And then the neat thing
Nobody
is,
listens sometimes.
and the neat thing is, you mentioned a coming of age in the sense that I find, you know, it's targeted to an older audience, and we're almost saying it's never too late to come of age.
Yes.
You know.
I think it's just a good reminder too. The death is what got everybody thinking, but we should think about those things before we have to get to that point. Right?
Make the most of our time here.
We realize maybe patch things up now rather than wait till the very
Yes.
end.
But your comment about it's not about going back is relevant. But in a way, it really is about going back of a specific culture. The Italians are now in a position where they can go back to their homeland. And they're discovering, first of all, as Dale said, that they don't speak like them because we speak a more pure rendition. Their dialects and languages have been Italianized, whereas ours were petrified, in my case, from 1949, which means from 1049, because nothing happened in that interval.
Where do we watch Road to the Lemon Grove and see all of your beautiful faces and directing skills?
Thank you. It's going to be in 17 cities across Canada, from Laval to Vancouver. And in Toronto, downtown, we're in Vaughan, we're in Winston Churchill, Hamilton. Be there.
Go support a beautiful film with a ton of heart. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much.
Let's head downstairs.
Grazie, sai.
Let's head downstairs down to Mel.